What's up, world, and welcome back to Beard Bites, life-size fun with bite-sized breakdowns. Since you are tuning in today, do me a small quick favor, click on that subscribe button, share this video with a few people you know, give it a like, and feel free to leave a comment below. It is appreciated. Alright, let's go. First, we will look at the video posted directly from the FBI. So right as that video starts, looks like they're, looking around for something, maybe someone. Now, side note to that, across the street, there's nothing to see. It's a parking lot. And it almost looks as if they rearranged, pulled down the mask. Maybe there was another one underneath, two different white ones or variables. Now, as they start to turn, you do see a small reflection in the face area from the eyewear that they have on. So there's one thing. The posture in the walk, to me, that has got to be female, at least in this shot. Just feet being close together, being straight up and down. It's like a woman is walking with a heavy purse and definitely trying not to bang it around. And then it also looks like the heel has that little flick up, like you would see if someone's wearing wedges or flip-flops. That's what it seems like in part of the walk there. Yeah, at the end of the video, suspect starts heading back from the direction that they came from, and then the video cuts off. Now my question, why did they turn around so close to the DNC? Suspect was only about 400 feet based on maps. Quick side note to that, the distance between the start and finish points of the two areas is 0.3 of a mile and 7 minutes walking, but we'll come back to that shortly. One would think that walking around with two pipe bombs in the nation's capital, they would want to do it quickly and somewhat hastily to avoid any type of suspicion, right? You'd think that. Now, as they did turn back, why not show the additional footage of them walking back? I would think the more footage of someone, the better, yeah? The detailed things that stood out to me during this clip have to do with what on the surface appear as just camera glitches, which they very well may be. I mean, I've only been doing editing and graphics work for probably a week or so now. I mean, I just bought my first editor last Saturday. So maybe this part can be explained by someone in the comments who has a little bit more knowledge, and let us know if you think that could be something or if it is a true and natural glitch. So let's take a look. Just keep an eye on the bush in their back there. Then the sidewalk. And this one's a little tricky, but you'll have to go back and rewind it a few times. You go back and forth, you will notice that the door also changes positions, the door on the right. Then we see the small glitchy thing follow them to the end there. Next few clips, I'm just going to show you back to back and see if you can find what the common denominator is for this part.
The FBI says that the suspect is seen wearing Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes, yellow and black and gray. January 6th insurrection and the events that happened in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Whether the persons that was set to go off on the day of the attack, again, if it was placed between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. the night before, it's...
They always seem to cut it right before the vehicle comes through. Let's look. Okay, it looks like we got ourselves a police car. Now, this is pretty significant to me. So for those of you out there that are officers, if someone gave you a half-like wave that morphed into a stretch at 8:17 in the evening, would that be suspicious to you or not? Now, the officer does brake, but that's also another cutoff point that we don't see even on the FBI's video. I would assume the following few moments would show if the officer completely stopped or just went, on their way. But even more importantly, why don't they take the dash cam footage from those who were patrolling that area from that night? I mean, this footage shows us the exact time the two cross paths. All right, so to wrap things up here, here's a quick shot of the timeline of events. 7:40 down South Capitol Street, but turns around, goes the other way. Again, why not show more of the suspect? 7:52, corner of Canal and Capitol. When the suspect arrives, it appears they came in from the left side of the screen, which would be Ivy Street, according to the maps. So they would have had to have walked back up Capitol Street, which another footage area they would have been seen again, around the block and back down. Now the camera angle from the bench area appeared to be from a camera on a door behind them. That's my best guess with what I could find here. And 8:14 p.m. we saw the suspect right at the Capitol Hill Club overhang. Then the police car passed by. But these stills with the timestamps almost muddy the water for me a little bit. I mean, I went on street view, aerial view, I zoomed in, I zoomed out, I went through tons of angles to see if I could figure out which possible direction that they could have gone. And I was trying to break it down, like by the side of their shoulder was on, by the building, see where that was on the map compared to the other shots. But even doing all that, I was still having trouble finding anything that made sense, especially with this last little cluster of stills that I showed you. They didn't have but a few options based on time, distance, and the surrounding buildings. Speaking of surroundings, I did find 2 cameras diagonally from the 752 location and the 814 location, and one down just a little bit from the 740 location in the parking lot. Now, this is the post directly across from the 740 location. This could be a camera, but if it is, it's way different than the other ones in the surrounding area. Now, if there are any DC residents tuning in, let us know if that last one is a camera or just part of the post there. Final 2 items. 1, the officer didn't have to stop if he didn't want to. There were no stop signs or stop lights until Canal Street that I could see. So I'm very, very curious where the continuing footage is from the dash cam and from the Capitol Hill Club. And maybe the best for last, but I caught this as I was working on another section. When the suspect arrives at the 752 marker, they drop the freaking bag. Who in their right mind drops a backpack with pipe bombs from any height? Come on. Thanks again for tuning in to another Beard Bite. Let's keep up the good vibes and like, comment, share, and subscribe.